And we're back with a very refined example of a woman of the Nile who had really excelled in being a bright face of Egypt, also abroad. And through her novels, definitely, she has addressed many issues concerning women empowerment and has been an intellectual herself. I'm really honored to have with us Professor Dr. Mona Zaki, a global strategic consultant, and definitely our novelist tonight as well will be talking more about her journey of success, her books, her story. And this is the story of inspiring women of the Nile. Dr. Mona, thank you so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And tonight, actually, from the eyes of a strategist, from the eyes of a professor of strategic thinking, we're going to analyze also some quotes. I'll be starting with a quote on behalf of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi when he addressed Egyptian women as Azimat Misr. I think that this quote has actually been a turning point. It has been embedded in choosing how and reflecting of how great Egyptian women are.
I want to thank you very much for hosting me as the first guest in this wonderful program, Women of the Nile. And I want to thank His Excellency President al-Sisi for really appreciating women, for recognizing the role of women and giving them this refined status to regain their position not only locally in Egypt but also internationally. So, and I see this as a great example of a strategist, because when he first took over the presidency of the country, he immediately had a great conference for youth, and that was a very, in Sharm el-Sheikh, the youth forum in Sharm el-Sheikh, and that was very, very strategic from his side. When you are ruled by a man with a vision, it gives you confidence and it gives you courage and strength. So our president has a vision for women, for men as well, for the country, and empowering women is as equally important as empowering men. So I can see there is a big change in the philosophy, in the strategy to appreciate women, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yes, in your opinion, actually, we find that Egyptian women has always been the guardian of the story. Inspiring women, let me say, the inspirers are also inspiring others. They are the conscience of the nation.
Absolutely.
As His Excellency has put it this way, they are the guardians of Egypt's identity. And here, when we're talking about the Egyptian identity, we're always talking about women, because while they are taking care of their kids, while they're bringing up generations, they are definitely instilling those principles for safeguarding the Egyptian identity.
It's motherhood, and we always describe Egypt as the mother of the world. So yes, women, if they are half of the society, they give birth to the other half. They educate both halves. They educate women, and they educate their female children and their male children. So we really need to focus more on giving women not just more rights or empowerment programs, but also on giving more warmth and love and more education, because education is the beginning of everything. And being myself as an academic person, I really, really appreciate and push for educating children, women, and of course girls and boys. But please focus on educating women more and more, because they are the future mothers and they are the future educators, because the first person any baby or any child would see in his life is his mother. So the more educated the mother is, the better the children will be. So education is number one from a strategic point of view. And with education, you have to enhance culture as well. What kind of culture we need to study? What kind of culture we need to empower women with? The culture of belonging, the sense of belonging, the culture of peace at home, the culture of faith and confidence, the culture of being loved and giving love, and the culture of marriage, you know, because this is very important. Marriage for women is not a must, but at the same time it is a requirement, because to build a family you have to have this kind of education and the feeling to build a family, the confidence to have a family with no resilience, with no fights, minimizing the rate of divorce and trying to work together with the husband. It's, as I like very much the quote when the president said, women is not to complete men but to hand in hand with men. They are equal, they are different but equal. So we need to have this equality in life with men.
Definitely, and we're actually back, and we find that this is actually His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is providing leadership by example in the sense of respect for women, the respect for the spouse, the respect for the family. And this has been also shown in at the inauguration of the Strategic Central Command headquarters, where we found the First Lady present. And this has, if it's conveying something, it conveys how such historic state events are having a place in Egypt's narrative, how women and family are having a place today in Egypt's national narrative. Short break and we'll be back.
لقد كانت المرأة المصرية العظيمة وما زالت دعما وظهيرا لوطنها. ولن أكون مبالغا إذا قلت أن قوة المرأة المصرية هي التي صنعت مجد هذا الوطن، هي رمز العطاء والتفاني والتضحية المتجردة من أي مصلحة، هي سر الحياة. وأقولها صريحة، إن انحيازي للمرأة المصرية هو عن قناعة تامة وإيمان حقيقي بأن احترام المرأة وتقدير دورها وتمكينها وحمايتها هو واجب وطني والتزام سياسي، وليس هبة أو منحة، بل هو حق أساسي لها وعلينا جميعا أن نتخذه كمنهج حياة، فبدونه لن يتحقق أي نجاح منشود.
Dr. Muna, besides your academic career, which is actually very distinctive, but we find you also very much an accomplished author. And we can see some of your books definitely today translated also in more than one foreign language. I know that there has been a great honor for you in Paris, and you've represented definitely Egyptian women authors on more than one occasion. This sense of cross cultures is very important because it wins you the respect of the other, and it's a great exposure. How did you find that experience and your presence there? How do what do they think about Egypt, the reception itself, the honoring an Egyptian woman, a woman of the Nile, for her achievements? What does it take and how it feels?
Yeah, thank you very much for this lovely question. After a long academic career of 35 years of teaching, I'm very proud of my students who are now in excellent positions. I'm very, very proud of them, and they are leading figures, women and men, They are doing a great job. I'm very, very proud of them. If I mention names, you will be impressed really in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in other ministries as well. They became ambassadors, some even became ministers, and some businessmen. So this is a great achievement. I feel really proud of my students because they are like my children, like my two daughters, Dalia and Lily. I'm very proud of them as well. So being a mother and academic gave me a lot of experience, and also working hard as a career woman in the business, in teaching, in the business, in building, in different projects, strategic projects. That this is really, it's a lot to talk about. And this is where, while achieving all this, I was writing about women in general, about all the experiences of women, either observing women or my own experiences. And you know, with drama, as everybody knows, the simplest definition of drama is exaggeration of reality. So whatever you go through, you really add a lot, your imagination, your input, your wishful thinking, you put it all in writing. So I really produced some novels, and like Kingdom of the Heart, for example, that was the first one to be published, and it was immediately translated to French, Le Royaume du Cœur. Then I published Three Queens from Egypt, and I'm very happy that the leading figure of the queens is Hatshepsut, and it was also translated to French. And those two novels, when I was invited to Paris to talk about them, and because the publisher is one of the top French publishers in France, Harmattan. Yes, I did lots of conferences, and now the novels are even sold in Institut du Monde Arabe. It's a very prestigious place in France, and while talking and discussing with other, not only French people, but Francophonie, those who speak French from different countries, Algerians, Moroccans, Tunisians, Côte d'Ivoire, Senegalese, and lots of Francophone people attended the conferences, and they were all so interested to know more about Egypt, about women in Egypt. And it changed their perception, because there is a stereotype about women in Egypt, unfortunately not always very positive lately, you know, but history says it all, because we have a great civilization. People think of women as Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, Nefertari, all those good golden age of Egypt, you know, the civilization of the ancient civilization of Egypt. But modern Egypt, you know, with all the collapse of some of the economic systems and some of the political systems, and the influence of mixing religion with politics, gave the impression to the world that women in Egypt are like the women in different neighboring countries, like in Syria, in Iran, in so and so and so. So we didn't really portray the exact and the right image of women for some time. So for them it was a surprise to see women of the Nile presenting novels that represent modern history, with the revolution of the 25th of January, with the revolution of the 30th of June, with the terrorism attacks in Sinai, with the divorce rate in the world and in Egypt, with addiction problems, with all those wonderful, wonderful work and wonderful sacrifices of our own military children, and our own police people, and the Ministry of Interior, and all the, you know, it made a balance. It was a kind of balance that they could see Now, women are very strong in this country. Women are not like other women in the Middle East. Egyptian women, women of the Nile, women of the Egyptian Nile. The Nile is huge, but women of the Nile, women of the Egyptian Nile are really different, are strong, they have resilience, they have resilience, they are strong, they make a point, they make a difference, they create history.
They choose, actually, let me say, they are ambassadors. Ambassadors are not only the ones carrying diplomatic passports, but Egyptian women are actually ambassadors.
I always say, and they are queens.
They are
not
queens.
all queens carry a crown.
Right.
Queens can be a queen if she carries much more than a crown.
Right.
They carry
Egyptian women, women of the Nile, women of substance, women of resilience. They choose actually responsibility over silence and contribution over observation.
Absolutely.
And this is actually what is seen in Egypt's political life today.
Yes.
How women are actually sharing with substance, sharing with integrity, with quality. Women in leadership posts, women in executive positions, and definitely leaving an impact in the political life today. How do you see that?
We need more women on the political scene, to be honest with you. We need more women to be the first rank, not the deputy, but the chief, you see. So we need women to... I really hope we have more women in our government of high quality, because we do have women of very, very high quality. We have international women, we have women who have achieved a lot in their career, and they are very efficient, very capable. We have men as well, but we need to have a kind of a balance and an equilibrium between them, you know. So I do hope that in the future we will have more women on the political arena, on the economic arena, on the social as well. And because actually our current women ministers are doing an excellent job.
Yes, definitely, definitely they are. And let me say that we have women of the Nile are from different walks of life. They are artists, they are writers, they are scientists, they are entrepreneurs, they are ones whose achievements have did really shape the whole perceptions about the homeland.
Yes.
And I would love to ask you a question concerning soft power, and I know that soft power is definitely a very important also diplomatic tool, talking about a national strategy. If you're asked to design a national strategy that is co-relevant to putting Egyptian women in the heart of soft power, what would you say?
I would start, the first thing I would do, because soft power is a huge term for many tactics. It's a strategy that has many tactics. Art is part of soft power. Sports, diplomacy, public diplomacy, social work, media. Media is extremely important as a tactic for soft power. So soft power is a huge strategy, but I would really focus more on including culture and literature and reading more and more among kids in schools, and art, introducing art in school, introducing music, drama, poetry. We need to start with kids, with the children. When I was at school at Mère de Dieu, it was a beautiful environment. You know, you need to, because as a strategist, you need to study the environment, and you need to do a kind of a SWOT analysis. What is the environment around us? What's the strengths, the opportunities, how can you analyze the strengths and the opportunity and take advantage of that vis-a-vis the threats you face and the weaknesses you suffer from.
Yes.
And this SWOT analysis will really bring the country to advance much faster than we expect. So what we need to do is to start with schools, please, hand in hand, the Ministry of Culture with the Ministry of Education, they have to work hand in hand to integrate programs as soft power, to integrate programs to encourage and to attract students, primary students, secondary students, and then take them to university level, to higher education, and go on, and then take them into organizations, into companies, into public sector, private sector, mix, integrate them together. I believe in integration. So I think if we do that, this will enhance soft power as a whole in the country.
Definitely, and as you've wisely put it, Dr. Zaki, this way, it's also very important to see women in leadership, as you've said, and also women who are providing inspiring stories. We're seeing that women of the Nile are just putting in compelling narratives that would definitely leave an impact and inspire global audiences. This sense of inspirational message is a message that we need today, because we need other girls and ladies watching to follow suit and
absolutely
to have examples to look highly upon.
We need more role models. We need more ladies, and here when I talk about ladies, to have a balanced life, because women should not just, once they are married, they forget themselves and they focus only on children. This is very important to be a mother. I did this with my 2 daughters. I only started to publish my novels when my 2 daughters were grown-ups and they graduated from the university and they had their jobs and they were totally independent. But while you build your children, you build yourself. While you build your society, you build yourself. So girls, please focus on building yourself. Read more, learn more, experience more, be more exposed, learn more languages, extra languages, be more open to the world, because now we have social media. Don't waste your time on really watching. Be part of the game. Be more integrated in the society, not just as not as a guest, but as a real player in the game.
Definitely a real player. I thank you so much, Professor Dr. Muna Zaki, novelist and global strategic consultant, for that optimistic advice, and also for all the added value here tonight on the show, and for being such an inspiring woman of the Nile that we're really proud of. Thank you so much. Thank
you so much. I'm very proud to be Egyptian by the Nile.
Thank you so much. And we're all proud to be Egyptians by the Nile. And we conclude by, on that note, the inaugural episode of Women of the Nile, and the message to every girl watching us, to every Egyptian girl, to every woman, let me say, pursue your dreams, run after your dreams, carry the torch, and write the next chapter of your story. I'm Taghreed Hussein, and I thank you all for watching.